All right, everybody, welcome back to Food for Thought. The topic of conversation for today's episode is going to be, I have no idea. I really couldn't think of anything that I was feeling passionate to speak about today. So we're just gonna hit the record button and see what comes out, because this is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to be able to learn how to speak about things even when my mind is blank, even when I haven't planned out something to talk about. That's what's really the main goal of recording these videos, to become a better communicator, to express myself better. So let's hop straight into it. I've been studying decently hard over the past little bit for finals, and this is going to be probably the second last, or maybe the last episode that I film before I go home for Christmas break. And I won't be filming at all while I'm on Christmas break, because I just wanted to spend that time with my family, and I'm not going to be making breakfast by myself, and I'm not going to be recording it. So there you go. But yeah, I've been studying decently hard. It's been tough because I have 2 finals tomorrow, both on the same day, and they're both of my memorization classes. Oh, I didn't even go over the ingredients. Let's go over the ingredients. We got some rolled oats, we got some protein powder, vanilla flavor, we got some frozen berries, a little bit of honey, a little bit of banana, and some dried cranberries today, actually, because I felt like it. I don't know about you guys, but this is probably tied for how I think how ripe a banana should be. Like the top ripeness for a banana, this is probably tied for number 1. It's either, when it looks like this, it's very good. This gives you a kind of sweeter flavor, but I feel like a worse texture than when it's kind of perfectly yellow with no spots on it. That's also tied for first, and I eat that when I'm eating banana with something like just honey and peanut butter. That's a good combo, actually, if you guys want to try that. It actually tastes so good. You basically just take a banana, and for each bite you take a little dollop of peanut butter, take a little dollop of honey, and eat it like that, and it tastes delicious. Anyway, but I like the little bit more crunch on the bananas for those, and then you get the sweetness anyway from the honey. So those are definitely tied for me as ranking first. But yeah, I was listening to a podcast today, or I'm listening to it actively right now, because I wanted to do some research myself on seed oils and vegetable oils and stuff like that, because I don't know, I've heard a lot of buzz on health metrics for those and how they affect your health and whether you should eat them or not, and I want to kind of do my own research, because it's so easy to be misled nowadays. There's so much misinformation, and I think that misinformation is going to become only worse as time goes on with the addition of AI. I don't know. I'm sure we all know that AI can hallucinate, right? I'm sure we've all tried to search something up on ChatGPT, and we prompt it to give us an answer that we want to hear, you know? And it gives us that answer, and we're like, boom, yes, prove me right, or told me what I want to hear. And then you go you do a double take, and you're like, okay, let me actually make sure that this is what it's saying it is. Or maybe you just want to know more about the topic, so you ask ChatGPT to give you a source for it, or where did it get that information from, and then it just can't, or it gives you a source that does not say at all what it said. And that is the spread of misinformation. Now that manifests in things like YouTube videos. So many people are making YouTube videos purely through AI now. And that can be a dangerous thing because AI, like I just said, can hallucinate and say things that are not true, right? So a person may be making videos with AI and just not checking the information, and it may be in good faith, but the video may be false, right? And therefore, they post that and that goes out on the internet. And guess what mechanism takes information off of the internet and then tells you things based off of what it sees on the internet? AI. So that leads to AI taking information from other AI sources, like videos that are posted on YouTube, and taking that information that is already misinformation, let's say for this example, takes that information that's already misinformation and then puts out more misinformation based on that. And with the scale and exponential factors that AI has, I don't know how we are going to be able to tell in just a short period of time what's real and what's not, just as a general consumer, you know? Because there's going to be so much misinformation that there's going to be more misinformation than real information, true information. And I feel as though the line is going to become very blurred very quickly. Now, what does that mean for society? I'm thinking it can't be good. Those are my thoughts. Yeah, it's tough because people believe what they want to hear. You know, if someone searches up, and I do it too. I'm not acting like I'm immune to this. It's kind of just human nature. People believe what they want to hear. So if you have some sort of predisposition to want something to prove some line of thought that you have. For example, if I am a flat earther and I want to find evidence that the earth is flat, if I find something that tells me the earth is flat, I'm probably going to take that more seriously than something that tells me that the earth is not flat, right? If I think that the earth is flat. And what the internet has done has allowed people to just completely surround themselves in a bubble where they only get fed what they want to hear because social media algorithms feed them stuff that keeps them engaged for the longest, right? So if you're constantly seeing stuff that agrees with what you want to believe, you're probably going to watch it more than if you're seeing a bunch of stuff that disagrees with what you want to believe. If you're a flat earther and you start seeing a bunch of content on your social media about how the earth is round, you might not stay on that social media too much. You might go to a different social media that tells you that the earth is round, that the earth is flat, and has a bunch of people saying that on it. So the algorithm is designed to keep you hearing what you want to hear. And the thing is, we often forget that we're only shown a tiny little subsect of all the data, of all the information, and it's super specified to what we are interested in. So it's so easy to get stuck in your own kind of club of people and think that that's the truth of something because that's all you're hearing, right? You see, you're seeing so much evidence for one type of thing because you're seeing 100 different videos of it, but maybe there's 10,000 videos proving the opposite, and you're just not being shown them because the algorithm doesn't show them to you, right? You would almost have no way of knowing because you're just not being shown it. And there's so many videos, there's so much content, you can't possibly go through it all, right? So we have to be very careful and try our best to discern information honestly, and to try and find information that disproves what we want to hear, as well as information that proves it. Because if you only search for what you want to hear, then that is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. But anyway, here's breakfast. Looking very delicious. So let's do a quick recap for today. Today, we talked about how AI is rapidly going to exponentially increase the amount of disinformation on the internet, or at least I think it will. And we talked about how that affects people and affects society, and we talked about how people can get so ingrained in their ideologies because of social media and how the algorithm works that it sort of leads people to be able to prove anything to themselves just by searching up a slightly biased question. You know, you can find a ton of content then that supports that theory, like the earth is flat. I'm sure there's a few different sectors on the internet proving that the earth is flat, and if that's all you're looking at, then that's what you're going to believe, right? So we have to be careful with what we look at, and with things like AI, if it's not general information, I'd say, then you should probably try and find sources and actually make sure that those sources are saying what, you know, you think that they are saying, or what the ChatGPT has told you that they said, right? So we got to try and keep informed as much as we can, try and get all the sides, try and seek out ideas that go contrary to what you want to believe or what you believe, so that you can actually take into account what they're saying and see if they're right or wrong. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.